Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for your Thursday night showdown slate between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, before we get into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We are 504 subscribers. Got the new logo up, got the new banner up. Hope you guys appreciate it. Let's get into a little of a recap of the Sunday night showdown game, which was a positive. I did a Monday night football one as well. That one didn't go as well, but this Sunday night one went in the positive, in the green, as you can see. This lineup, like I try to advocate, smaller tournaments, but still good payouts. You're going to have to pay up just a little bit more, but you have a higher chance of getting into that money and raising up on these tournaments because there's less people. In that particular game, this was between the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. I wanted to go with someone cheaper at the captain spot and fill in all the expensive guys: Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Emmanuel Sanders. And then I said you had to sacrifice that last flex spot, which was a decent strategy. Get you in the cash. Was able to get $10 from this. Mecole Hardman definitely was someone that stood out. Didn't get into the end zone, but had 9 receptions on 76 yards receiving. That was a solid play. Gabriel Davis, if he would have gotten in the end zone, that would have helped a lot as well. But these are some of the type of strategies you're going to have to implement if you want to get into these winnings, okay? All right, you got to be a little bit creative, all right? Especially in those type of games where it's just a lot expensive guys, and you have to have them. You have to have them. Like I said, Mahomes, Allen, and Kelce were locks. Okay, you just had to figure out the rest. Let's deep dive into this one. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to be in Philadelphia for this particular game. Let's check out the injury report. We have DNPs from Lavonte David, DNP from Gronkowski. We're waiting on news on him. It's going to be a big injury report on Wednesday. If he does not practice again, he will be out. Then you can go to Cameron Brate. All right. Everyone else is limited and should probably play. Let's look on the Philadelphia Eagles side. No DNP. Well, it was a DNP for Lane Johnson, the tackle. That could be a big loss for them as well. We're going to watch out for that. Okay. Also, the news about Dallas Goedert, the tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles, is big news as well because he tested positive for COVID. And we're going to have to wait on news for him. He's going to have to provide 2 negative results for him to play on Thursday. I don't know if I don't think there's enough time. So you just have to watch it. If he is out, Zach Ertz is going to be the #1 tight end for Thursday night's game. All right. So you got a little bit of some information there. Let's deep dive into this. Tom Brady at 18,600. Obviously, he is worth it. In every single game besides the game he faced against Bill Belichick, he has been red hot fire. As you can see, 5 touchdowns in 2 out of the 5 games, a 4-touchdown game. And even in the game that he only had 1 TD, he threw for 432 yards and even rushed a touchdown as well. So this man is scoring in all types of formats. He's a must play. Obviously, you have to have core lineups with him as your captain or core lineups with him as your flex. You have to be creative. Because in this type of game script, you already see, you can kind of get the idea that Tampa Bay probably be up. And in these scenarios, Jalen Hurts tends to come through, and he has the potential to outscore Tom Brady because he can do it with his arm and his legs. He can outproduce Tom Brady's scoring projection. So this one, you're going to have to do lineups with both of these guys as captain, and then you're going to have to do some lineups with the wide receivers and running backs, okay? You're going to have to figure this out because this is a similar game where it's Buffalo and Kansas City, where all these high-priced guys, you want to play them, and you're going to have to play them. So love strategies with Tom Brady as captain. Love strategies with Jalen Hurts as captain. As you can see, he's probably going to play. He's going to probably play that role where he's going to be from behind and trying to catch up and he definitely can put some things together in that no-huddle offense, okay? That 2-minute drill, he's going to have to come through. Jalen Hurts can definitely do that. Mike Evans is at a very high price at $10,200. Right now, currently, he just had a big game. He rarely puts it back-to-back like this, but he's someone that you have to watch out in that red zone area. Tom Brady easily looks for him. So far, the number one wide receiver out of these three guys between Mike Evans and Chris Godwin has been Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown at 8,200. If you put him at the captain spot, is 12,300. He's been absolutely insane. He's looked like the old Antonio Brown. 8 targets, 124 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I love Antonio Brown in the flex, and I love Antonio Brown as the captain spot if you want to get creative there. Mike Evans, I just spoke about, and then Chris Godwin is also a questionable, but he was a limited participant in practice. Kind of all of them ate a little bit, but the touchdowns went to Mike Evans and Antonio Brown. It could change week by week. So with the salary already going to be allocated to Jalen Hurts and Tom Brady, you're going to have to choose one or two, probably most likely one of these Buccaneers to go in your lineup. All right. You're going to have to make that sacrifice because you cannot afford everyone unless you go with the super, super cheap option at that captain spot and you can fit in as much as possible. All right. But Chris Godwin had a very solid performance, 7 receptions, 11 targets on 70 yards receiving. These are all tier 1, tier 2 guys that we love. If we're looking for Philadelphia wide receiver, if you're playing Hurts, you got to bring it back with someone else. DeVonta Smith can be that guy. 7 receptions, 8 targets, 77 yards. No fumble, had a fumble and lost it. Came through with 15.7 points. He hasn't got a touchdown since week 1. This can definitely be a game where he can turn that back around and get his second touchdown in his young NFL career. So we like DeVonta Smith. We're going to put him in there. We're going to throw Antonio Brown in there because we love him. One of the weaknesses for Philadelphia Eagles is that run game, and Leonard Fournette has stepped up as the number 1 running back. They cannot trust Ronald Jones running that rock. He fumbles the ball way too much, so they just leaned on Leonard Fournette, and he's been a model of consistency. As you saw in that stretch run last year to get them to win the Super Bowl, he's doing the same thing right now this season. 12 attempts, 67 yards, had a touchdown. Rushing also came through in the receiving department. 4 receptions, 5 targets for 43 yards as well. 21 points there. So very good sneaky play if you want to go with Leonard Fournette. We love him as well. We already got news about Gronkowski. He's questionable. Wait on news for him. Miles Sanders has been very, very up and down. You see them as playing from behind. And they've been using Kenneth Gainwell as the passing running back. Miles Sanders has been playing that first and second down role. I think they trust Gainwell more in the receiving area, but Sanders is still the number 1 guy. If you want to be contrarian, you can go with Miles Sanders. It's not built for him in this particular game because Tampa Bay is a run-stopping machine. If we just go by points against running backs, let's just look at that really fast. We're going to flip that around. Tampa Bay are they top 10? Yes. They are 9th ranked points allowed to running backs, so you got to be careful about that. And where you want to attack them is going to be out on the sides with a very mobile and agile running back that has the hands, and that can be Kenneth Gainwell. So Sanders, I might want to avoid him. You can go with him, but I think the better value, especially if you're paying up on all these expensive guys, is go with a cheaper option at running back. And let's go down to Kenneth Gainwell. Kenneth Gainwell is a nice, cheap option to go with from the Philadelphia Eagles side. Similar to the game he had against the Kansas City Chiefs, he came through with 8 targets, 6 receptions, and 58 yards. Excuse me, guys. Okay. So he was a big factor in that game. I can see something similar in this Tampa Bay game. So I'm definitely going to have him on the radar. Nice, cheap price. And can be an option at that captain spot. If he goes off, similar to what he did against KC, whereas it's 20 fantasy points. That can break a slate right there. And that means you can fit in Tom Brady, you can fit in Jalen Hurts, you can fit in Antonio Brown or Mike Evans, and then you can fit in another wide receiver on that Philadelphia side because you think this is going to be a very, very high scoring game. Let's continue on. I spoke about Sanders. Now let's go on to Dallas Goedert. Goedert, if he is out, we're going to be all in on Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is at a nice cheap price as well. So the value is going to be on the Philadelphia Eagles side. 4,800 for Zach Ertz at the captain spot. If you put him as a flex, 3,200. He had 6 targets last week, and that was with sharing work with Dallas Goedert. If he is totally out, then he's going to get double-digit targets. This is going to be the number 1 wide receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles if Goddard's out, and we love him at that price at 3,200. All right. So I'm loving the value on the Philadelphia side, and then you pay up on the other side at Tampa Bay. You get you Tom Brady, you get you one of the 3 wide receivers, and you get you Leonard Fournette, and then you have you a very, very solid lineup. All right. So I'm gonna keep the value of the Philadelphia right there, and I'm gonna fill in the rest. So we can go if we find some other cheap guys in this game between the Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Giovanni Bernard was able to get in the end zone. Was he able to get in the end zone last week? Yes, he was able to get a reception. This is not. Well, wow. Actually, he had 9 receptions against the Rams. Wow. This can be another cheap option right here. Giovanni Bernard. Is getting some opportunities. Obviously, Tampa Bay is a very well-functioned offense, and everyone's getting a piece of the pie. Bernard can be a cheaper option. If you fade Fournette, you can go with Bernard. He's going to have to get in that end zone for you to make up his salary so it can turn into value, okay? But he's on the radar. We'll throw him in there. If Gronkowski out, then Cameron Brate can be a factor. He hasn't really been a factor since week 4. Got 6 targets, only 2 catches for 29 yards. And against the Rams, came through a little bit better of a game 4 on 35 yards. Okay, but he's more of a tier 4, tier 5 guy. Not really looking at him. If you want to go away from DeVonta Smith, then Jalen REAGOR can be your guy. With 5 targets last week against Carolina. That's a tough matchup. He struggled the past 2 weeks. Hasn't gotten a touchdown since week 1 as well. So this is something to maybe he can break out going up against Tampa Bay. They might focus their eyes on Smith and REAGOR and ERTZ, and other guys can step up, or even QUEZ Watkins. This one, he's a sneakier option. I like him more than REAGOR. So if I'm choosing the wide receivers on the Philadelphia side, obviously we love ERTZ and we love Smith. Next would be QUEZ Watkins. I think QUEZ Watkins over REAGOR because of the speed factor. They use him in multiple facets. He can take the top off of defense, and it takes 1 catch, and he can take it all the way to the end zone. He has not had a touchdown yet this year. This is a sneaky option right there. We love QUEZ Watkins. All right, we love QUEZ Watkins. Kickers are a maybe. Definitely avoiding defenses. I do not want any defense in this type of game between Tampa Bay and Philadelphia. But if you have a little bit of salary left, then you can choose between Jake Elliott or Ryan Suckup. Okay. Not advising you as a definite. This is another. Kickers are like tier 4, tier 5. They're not on the top of the list. If you feel like this particular player if this kicker will do better than this particular player at the bottom, then you can put him in. But if not, go with the value like GAINWELL, like Zach Ertz, like QUEZ Watkins, which we just spoke about, like Giovanni Bernard, which we just spoke about. Other than that, I'm looking at some guys. Ronald Jones is a maybe if they feel like they can just run the ball down the Philadelphia Eagles' throat. He can even be an option. He'll see an uptick, and he's going to have to get in the end zone as well. So there's so many ways to go, all right? There's so many ways to go. You're going to have to make multiple lineups, all right? Tampa Bay, once you add Tampa Bay to the ingredients of this, and it's just too much. It's just way too much because anyone can go off. I cannot pinpoint one guy. I'm giving you the best information possible I can lean you into certain directions. All right. So Ronald Jones is a maybe. O.J. Howard, I'm not looking at really. He doesn't even have much of a snap count. He's behind Cameron Brate. Gronkowski might come back. Those are huge questions mark. The lowest I would go would be 1,800 to Ronald Jones, and that's what you have here. So let's go over the favorite captain spots. All right, Tom Brady, Jalen Hurts, and Zach Ertz as well can be if Goddard's out, then Zach Ertz should be a very sneaky captain spot. Gainwell is a very sneaky captain spot, and then some other Tampa Bay guys. Obviously, Antonio Brown, Leonard Fournette are some other options as well. So we're going to focus on those guys and figure out the rest. But stick with the core that I gave you in the flex options on the first and second tier, and then you guys should be fine with cashing. All right, the goal is to get in the green. All right, let me know in that comment section down below if you have any other ideas. If you think if you have another cheap guy that can go in that captain spot, so you can really fill in the rest of the lineup with a lot of high priced guys, I think that's another great option as well. You don't have to go with Tom Brady up there, but he most likely will score the most, or Hurts. Okay, so you gotta diversify. All right. Let me know in that comment section down below. Don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessNetchSD, and I'll be back with another video very soon. Peace out, guys.